Hello and welcome to another episode of A Different Kind of Woman, a show where we are brave enough to think differently and to be unique. On today's show, The Power of Music, we are talking about the negative and positive influences of music. Let's take a look at what's coming up. Next, we're going to play the red and green card game. At 4:10, find out what the people on the streets think with Jennifer Lon. At 4:25, see the Junior Star Factor. And at 4:30, we'll be talking to vocal legend Jocelyn Brown. Obviously, I'm not discussing the subject alone. I have with me the diplomatic Diane.
Hi.
The motivating Motti.
Hi.
And the very precise Patricia.
Hello. I was expecting you to go in order. I was like, oops, that's me.
I wanted to end with precise Patricia, okay?
All right, okay, I get it.
Welcome, ladies. So firstly, is there a song or musical composition that inspires you?
I have one. I am a huge fan of music. Huge fan of music. But if there's one song that I will have to choose as my all-time favorite, is the South African national anthem. Because, I'm always saying this, but really it's my experience. I grew up through apartheid, right? Mm-hmm. And so that song was just so comforting and very inspirational during a hard time in our life. So it was just a song filled with hope and a song that got us to dream that it was possible, that freedom was possible, that what South Africa is living now was actually possible. Mm-hmm. So that's a song that every time I hear, it transports me back to that moment, and it just fills me with hope as well.
Do you mind telling us just a few of the lyrics? Because I don't really know the anthem. Going quickly to try and translate it, it's Zulu, so Nkosi Sikelele Africa. It's actually faith-based, so it's God bless Africa. You know that South Africa has kind of like that, kind of like a spear part. If you look at the map, it has a part that sticks out, like kind of similar to a spear. Mm-hmm. So kind of like. May her spear be blessed, and there's a lot. It's gonna take a long now if I have to. It's gonna take a long time if I have to go through the lyrics. Well, hopefully you can sing it for us at the end of the show.
I might change it a little bit. I might get sued for changing it a little bit, but yeah, if you want to hear it.
Hopefully we'll have time for that. Ladies?
I have to say off the top of my head, Melissa, I can't think of anything.
No problem. What about you?
I do have something. There's a lot of songs that had impact in my life, and whenever I hear those songs, I remember of an event or something that happened. But there's this particular song that I heard first on the radio. One day I was working nights. I was working till late in the office, and that song came up, which was Raise Me Up from Josh Groban. Mm-hmm. And from that day, I just started Googling who sings this song, Josh Groban. I fell in love with Josh Groban. I bought his DVDs, CDs, and I love all his songs now just because of
so that one song really made an impact. Wow. Well, for me, I was telling you ladies a bit earlier, there is a song that really kind of motivates me, and it's actually a song by Miley Cyrus. It's called The Climb. Now, the thing is, I don't necessarily exactly like her version of it, but on YouTube there is like this male band who sings their version of the song, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it's just, the lyrics are very inspiring, because obviously it's about the climb, and it doesn't matter how fast you get there, etc. So for me, because because of the journey that I've been on in terms of trying to build myself up, starting up a business from scratch and things like that. So songs like that obviously, really motivated me and helped to push me to kind of keep going. And so, I would listen. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I used to listen to it quite a lot just for that extra motivation.
Are we going to get you to sing it at the end of the show as well?
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
I like the idea, Diane. I'm not going to be the only one.
Well, let's go on to our famous red and green card game. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and as you know, you'd put up the red card for no, the green card for yes. So are we ready, ladies?
Ready.
Okay, so do you think that music has the power to be destructive? Okay, so Pat, tell me why.
Because I think music really sticks to your head, and sometimes you are listening to something, you don't even realize the lyrics behind that song, just because you like the sound of it and you sing along and you don't realize what's in the song actually. And we have a lot of songs that motivate addictions, promiscuity, suicide, a lot of things. So I do think it can be destructive as well, positive and negative.
Mm-hmm. Music is kind of like influential, right? So, I mean, ideally, we should have very good songwriters who only use that power to influence in a positive way. But sometimes, you know, that people write anything that is, whatever will get attention. So, and sometimes it's not always positive. So music influences. And if we had good songwriters who use that power positively, then we would never find an opportunity where music is disruptive. But if a songwriter is kind of not responsible with the content of their music, then it can become disruptive for sure.
But would you agree though that you'd have to be in that kind of frame of mind anyway for the music to just kind of add to what you're thinking? So for example, if you're listening to a hip hop song that's all about murder, if you're not really thinking of murder, do you think that music is going to then make you go out and want to?
There's power in the word, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of power in your words. So if you put that into music, which is influential, which is universal, you know, it can have devastating effects on people. It doesn't mean that because you're not going, you know, you didn't wake up as a murderer. You know, you have it. That could influence you to do something, to be aggressive, because
it could sow a seed, and little by little. Definitely. I guess if you're always listening to that kind of music as well.
I believe so.
I disagree. Because there's no song out there, no matter how good and influential it is, that's gonna get me to commit murder. Sorry, not gonna happen. But it's just not in me.
Because it's not in you.
Like tip the scale to a certain way. I mean, I think it kind of a person's predisposition plays into it. So if a person is kind of depressed and you know, they're not well inside. And that song comes in.
You have people self-harming because of music. You have people committing suicide because of music. You know, you do have people.
And I agree, but I'm saying it's not music alone.
No,
it plays together with the predisposition of that person. So someone might listen to the same song and never self-harm.
Definitely,
but someone else can listen to that song and it can sort of tip the scale towards a negative thing. So I think who the person is also plays a role. It's not solely on music.
Yes, I would agree. Okay, next question.
We agree.
Do you think that governments have the right to ban music? Do you think that governments have the right to ban music?
That they should have the right to ban music.
Yes.
I would say yes, you know. That's just me being political. Sorry.
Okay, so the two of you have said yes, but I'd like to hear from Motti, who said no.
Yeah, no. No, I mean, I believe in power of expression, and when you come to a point where a government is given the right to ban a certain song, for a long time, the South African national anthem that really inspired me was banned because it was anti the apartheid government. So I believe in the power of expression, and I believe in a government being democratic. And so if it's democratic, you don't want to take away the power of expression of a certain group. I do think maybe that we could have certain regulations. We could put regulations in place to make sure that the music content is good, but no, not completely banned.
I'm looking at it from a child growing up perspective, you know, that once again, the influence that music can have on them, you know, depending on what is sung. So that's why I do agree with you, but also, you know, children are very influential when it comes to music. They mimic, they copy, they do. You know, and there's some people out there that their videos, their words, it's killing the children of today. So I do think it should be banned. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, unfortunately, that's all for our red and green card game. We didn't get many questions out, but we've got to go to a break. But before that, let's hear from Jennifer Lon with what the people on the streets of London think.
What do you think are the positive and negative effects of music?
Well, I think a positive effect is people can, it's a way of expression or an escape. Like personally, when I'm like revising, like music is it just gets you in the zone for myself. Negative, it could be a distraction depending on the kind of music it is.
Oh, positive. I guess it's a quite cheerful experience. So like it really puts you in a good mood and gives you scope to go out, go to gigs and socialise. Negative, I can't think of any, to be honest. No.
It all depends of its content, I think. Music may have good vibes or bad vibes according to the lyrics and the intention of the person who wrote it. So it all depends where it's coming from, actually, and the object of its destination. So it means what you want it to be, and it means all the energy you put on it.
Positive effects when it can make you feel good. Negative effects it can make you feel bad.
It encourages people to be unique and encourages people to be free to express their emotions and their feeling. And the negative aspect of music is that obviously it depends on what message the music is sending. It can have a negative impact on people and the society in itself.
Okay, let me answer that question. There ain't no positives, there ain't no negatives. It's all just beautiful.
I think some music can be negative in that it pushes materialism and sex onto people that aren't necessarily ready for it. And the positives can be that it gives people different opinions on life and, yeah, makes them think in a different way, can make them happy and help them through dark situations in their life.
Come on, a little closer now and let me know that you're mine. Woo!
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort and homework from you. This is your UCKG timetable. We are open 7 days a week, helping you to make a new beginning. Monday, a meeting focused on achieving more in your financial life. Tuesday, prayers for healing. Wednesday, a meeting teaching you to develop in your spiritual life. Thursday, a special prayer for the family. Friday, a service for your spiritual deliverance. Saturday, Find the One, a service specifically tailored for your love life. Sunday, Reconnect with God, the main meeting for your spiritual strength.
Welcome back, and on today's show we're discussing the power of music. Now, great music can transform an ordinary day into something magical, even spiritual. Would you agree, ladies?
Definitely.
Yeah. It can provide solace, release, it can relieve that stress. So tell me, have you ever felt shivers down your spine when listening to a song?
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I have. Can't sing it off the top of my head.
I actually have a moment. I remember very clearly this moment. I was at a wedding. It was I don't know how the song fit in the context of a wedding, but yeah, that's the song that was played, and it was the first time I got to hear it, which was One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston. Yes. Actually gave me chills. I was like, oh, and I love that song now.
Do you know what gave me chills down my spine? When I actually watched years and years ago when I watched Titanic, and obviously My Heart Will Go On came on, because it was so fitting with the whole scene and everything.
Titanic, really sad.
That wasn't emotional.
Yeah,
it was emotional. But the funny thing is, my husband was playing it the other day, and it just brought me back to that time, of the scene where, you know, he's slipping away and
Did you cry?
And it did bring the shivers again. I didn't cry, no, and I didn't. But I just thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, we're going to go on to playing our Guess the Song game. So I hope you've got your voices ready. Okay, so let's look at the lyrics on the plasma, and the first person to guess a song has to sing it. Now, don't shy away from guessing just because you've got to sing, okay? Okay, so I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head.
I do not know
You're
that
trying
song.
to save me. Stop holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy. Yeah, you think I'm crazy. I actually have no idea what this song is.
I really don't recognize it at all.
The words are quite disturbing, I think.
Yes, it is. Apparently it's a song by Eminem and Rihanna called Crazy. But when you think about the lyrics, they are quite disturbing.
Yeah.
It's probably a very catchy song, which I'm sure it is, because Rihanna has very catchy songs.
Yeah.
But the lyrics, when you break them down, when you read them like that, I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed.
So kind of, so she's saying that she's holding on to whatever crazy situation, whatever difficult situation she's going through. Kind of like, I have issues and I'm friends with my issues, so don't sort out my issues, right? Is what I'm getting from these lyrics, right? You're trying to save me, stop holding your breath, meaning I'm beyond saving.
It could be, to be honest. All I know is that it's not very positive.
It doesn't sound positive. That's probably
Not
why
at
it's
all.
not on my playlist. And I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing. It's just that I love happy, feeling good music, and I'm glad I don't have to sing because I really literally don't know the song.
Yeah, so none of us are singing that one because, you know, we don't know that song. All right, well, let's go to the next one. Didn't get a lot in a glass, but I know it don't come in a shot glass. Oh, didn't get a lot in a class, but I know it don't come in a shot glass. Does anyone know that?
Oh gosh.
I actually have no idea.
I have no idea.
Sorry.
No idea at all. It's not from my generation.
They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said, no. Yes, I've been black, but when you won't, no. Okay, so that makes it a bit clearer.
You know that's what I know.
All right, then, all together now. 1, 2, 3.
They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no.
I think we just stop there. Thank you, Monty.
I can go on.
Okay, it's a very catchy song, as many of Amy Winehouse's songs are. But actually, I guess when you are going through something when you might need rehab, then saying no is not obviously the best thing to do.
That's right.
So when you look deeper into the lyrics, obviously, it doesn't so much affect, let's say, me personally, because I'm not going through that, but it goes back to the influential aspect that we were talking about earlier. If somebody is going through that, but then they're listening to the music of an icon like Amy and knowing that she also and saying, oh, they tried to make me go to rehab. I said that could could motivate them to be like, no, I'm saying no as well. So you're refusing the help.
So sometimes you're being influenced without realizing that you're being influenced, right? You are. I mean, kind of like because you've repeatedly sang that lyric, you've repeatedly brought it into your system. You get subtle influence from it without really realizing it. So I guess from today's show we should take that we need to start analyzing more the lyrics that we sing. So because sometimes you sing something and you really don't break it down. You really don't. The beat is good and you like getting your tune going on and you don't really think about it. But we need to start thinking about what we're singing, because if we do, it influences us.
Definitely. Okay, well, let's go to the next lyric. We've got to be extra careful that we don't build our hopes too high, because she's got her own obligations and so do I. Me, and Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones.
I just know the title. I just know the chorus.
We got a thing going on.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
Be extra careful. We can't afford to build.
Oh my God!
I didn't even know how to do that part.
We have a singer here on set.
We've got a diva in the making. Okay, so it's the same with this one actually. Because Mrs. Jones, come on. If you hear Mrs. Jones being sang or it starts to play, you will automatically sing along, right?
Yeah.
You'll be like, we meet every day at the same day. Okay, I'm singing the wrong tune.
Yeah.
But the point is, again, when you think of the lyrics, actually, this song is like, it's about an affair, really.
Yes.
They're having an affair, they're being sneaky, they're going behind their partner's backs or whatever. They're meeting, in this cafe. They can't build their hopes too high. So it's like they can't go too far in their relationship because it's only like a little thing on the side.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
there's so many songs like that. Actually.
I hadn't broken down this song until we had like our meeting discussing this show. That's when I realized, oh my gosh, yes, it is really a song about an affair. In my mind, Mr. and Mrs. Jones were a couple. It was like,
no, she's Mrs. Jones, but he's not the Mr. to her Mrs.
I thought he was Mr.
You thought he was Mr. Jones, but he's not.
I thought Mr. Jones is singing to his Mrs.
He's singing to somebody else's Mrs. That's the problem.
Exactly. So, oh gosh, now it means I'm really going to start breaking down some of the songs that I really like. I want to see what I'm singing. I really want to think about what I'm singing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, the Junior Star Factor is actually a competition where they get young people to sing, and we've offered the winner the chance to sing the DKW theme tune.
Ooh.
So let's have a look at that.
I'm here at Junior Star Factor. We have 8 finalists battling it out to be the new voice for a different kind of woman. Let's go meet them. So tell us who you are and what you hope to get from this competition.
I'm Bridie Shepherd, and what I hope to get from this competition is to get my voice out there for the start of a long career.
My name's Courtney Dye. I'm really hoping to get an opportunity that would make all this worthwhile.
I'm Honey Fine, and hopefully show the world what I'm capable of doing.
I'm Lauren Rammel, and I'm hoping that, I can get the chance to record the song, and to be able to release something on iTunes would be an absolute dream.
My name's Abigail DC Biggs. It's probably the only thing I can see myself doing.
My name's Emily Deemer. I'm hoping to get from this competition some experience. I love singing, so anything that gives me an opportunity to sing is great.
My name's Charlotte Coe. I'd quite like to just get more experience, really.
Hi, my name's Beneatha James, and I'm 17. I just think this competition's like a perfect opportunity to kickstart my career.
I'm going to call Anthony shortly. You're going to listen to the track first of all, a couple of times, get that right in your heads, and then each of you bang, 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 do it individually. All right? The idea behind it is obviously to find the right vocalist for a chat show called Different Kind of Woman.
I'm gonna be everything I need. I'm gonna be a strong woman.
You need to make sure it's punchy. I'm gonna be... Yeah. We've got to hear that I'm. It's very catchy. It's not difficult. We're looking for a very strong vocalist, somebody that's got a great, strong, powerful voice as well.
I'm gonna be a strong woman. I'm gonna be everything I need. I'm gonna be a strong woman. There's something different about me. I had a power ignited, burning deeper over me. Lost my strength waiting, been fighting to open the door and see.
At the same time, I've like played guitar and written my own songs since I was about 14, 15. I'd quite like to pursue that as well, like with my own music. It's always been a passion of mine.
I've always wanted to perform in the West End, musical theatre and things like that.
I love pop singing and recording. I write my own music.
I'd love to be able to perform in front of thousands and millions of people, massive stadiums.
Hopefully, I'd love to be able to do some recording. That would be my absolute dream.
Just want to entertain people and move people in all forms. I'd love to sing, I love to act.
Selling out arenas, being an artist.
I want to become a recording artist because that's always been my biggest dream ever since I was little.
What are we looking for here?
Well, I think, coming from my perspective, like, I'm a writer and I write for the industry, for certain artists and things like that, right? So that writer who's wrote that track, they have written that song, that's fine, that's cool. But to put that, to put across what you're saying in the track, you need that vocalist. And the melody of the song is the melody, but they can change. I think they've got to have their adaptation on it.
Yeah. You are the piece of me. I wish
Each note was like a little drop of emotion, really heart-rending.
I really enjoyed that, and I think you put all the crescendos that we needed in the right place, and your voice is really smooth.
It's challenging on the heights and then bringing it down as well, but well done.
Your vocal range is superb and you nailed it then, so well done. You've done really well today.
That was full of character, I thought.
That was so much fun to listen to and to watch. It was brilliant.
That was beautiful. I found myself just being taken in completely by your voice. I forgot what I was here for a minute.
I really like the tone of your voice, and I think you've got good little falsetto touches where you needed them, so that worked really well.
Okay, thank you. Just down the night, like a fool.
I really like the smooth tone of your voice. It's like quite delicate.
That was really, really sweet. I really liked the side of your front. You had me tapping my feet there. It was really good, brilliant. Thank you.
Your power and your control are amazing. That was actually exciting.
And what is amazing about you is that you're very passionate when you're singing as well, and that comes across straight away.
Your voice is so able to flip around and get onto that top register and then flip out of it. That was very good.
Hi, I love the attitude in the way you were singing. It was really exciting. I kind of wanted you to continue, but we only had so much time. So it's brilliant. Thank you for that.
I think you really nailed that song.
That was absolutely incredible.
Well done. Thank you so much.
This is a very difficult decision to make.
Honey, Manifa and Abigail. But I think for all-rounder and for career both visually and vocally, it would be Lauren.
I like Manifa. I thought her range was lovely. I liked how she looked and how she sang it.
Sense of challenge of the voice was Charlotte.
We've got Manifa, who's probably got the right tones for the track. Then we've got Charlotte, that's got the powerful voice. Abigail, yeah. She's a passionate singer. We need to make the final decision.
Okay, this year's winner for Junior Star Factor to go ahead and win to sing the soundtrack for DKW is Charlotte. Well done. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. Go and give her a kiss, everybody. Come on, go and give her a kiss.
Wow, what an incredible talent. Well, we're going to go to a short break now, but stay with us because after the break we'll be talking to vocal legend Jocelyn Brown.
My husband committed suicide when I was quite young, left me with 3 young children.
It was about 8 years of abuse, starting for psychological abuse until it got physical.
I just felt so lost as a teenager. I didn't know who I was. And I kind of just felt very, very lonely.
My grandmother passed away. 8 months after, 9 months after, then my mother passed away too. I kind of buried those emotions.
I was having really sleepless nights and I was really desperate.
Depression, that was affecting me. 10 years I was on medication.
And welcome back. Joining us today, we have legendary singer Jocelyn Brown. Welcome, Jocelyn. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So you've obviously had an amazing career, but I'd like to ask you, how difficult do you think it is for you to have a successful career in music today?
It's quite hard right now, but on another level, it's not. Because at one time, you could only go through the major labels. And that's how you got to be known. That's how everybody got to know who you were, being promoted and being expedited by them. But now it's changed because electricity has stepped into the pocket. With having computers, you can go in now and do your own album. You can go in and put your own centralized situation together. You can do your own promotion. You know, you've got media, your social media, all out here now, which is quite intense and quite different from the times when I started in this whole business. So it's a lot better now, I think, I would say.
Yeah. But I guess because of that, it's become a bit more saturated as well. So I guess there's more competition in a way.
Well, to be very honest with you, there's sections, you know, that they put out for soul, R&B, hip hop. It's still out there. But you can have an opportunity now to put your music on social media, and they choose where they want to put you. You know, they'll let you know where you're supposed to be in their category. You know, so it's a little bit more open and a little bit more of an open road for everybody. You know, I really implore that the young people stay on that, because the major labels are major. They take over everything. They give you no control. But with that, you got control.
Is it easier or harder to copyright things if you're kind of like putting them on, for example, I know of an artist that is solely a YouTube artist. Like he launched his career just by YouTube, and he actually books shows using his YouTube channel. And can he still have his material protected?
Yes.
You just not using a major label, is it an easy thing to do?
Yes, I mean, he still has to be a part of PRS or PPL or one of the majors, which is like BMI or ASCAP. He still has to be a part of that, and he still has to register his product, you know, so it can be covered and protected by the government. But his ability to step out there on his own is a lot more open, because he's choosing what he wants. He's choosing who he wants to be involved in his career, you know, because you get a lot of people asking you to perform and be a part of this and be a part of that. But you have a chance to see, is this person replicable enough, or do I have an opportunity to see where he can take me? And some of them are just kind of, don't need to mean the word shyster, but they can be shysters, you know, so you have to be very careful, but he has a choice. That's what I love about that.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, you're a legend, and you've worked with some legends as well. Luther Vandross, Bette Midler, John Lennon, Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson. I could go on and on, Teddy Pendergrass, so many. But what's been your most exciting collaboration with?
My most exciting collaboration was with Bette Midler. Bette Midler is an independent producer, one of the first female producers out there, and besides Barbara Streisand, who was also her own production or coordinator with her music and with her films. But Bette did shows that enticed more musical involvement and dancing and all that. And I had a chance to see a woman structure her whole being on stage, you know, and how her music was supposed to sound, how she wanted to be represented and presented, and how she took control. She was in the studio with us, she was on stage with us, she was in rehearsals with us. She showed you what she wanted. But then there was another part of her that was beautiful. You know, she was down to earth, she was sweet, she was wonderful, and she had compassion for everything that was going on, because I'm not no dancer, okay? And I told her that. I said, look, I'll sing all you want me to sing, but dancing, she said, by the time I'm finished with you, baby, you're gonna be dancing. So it's true, I did dance in that movie, which was incredible.
Nice. I'm loving how you're taking us behind the scenes of music, because we just get to enjoy a single or a collaboration. We never really get to understand the work that gets put into it, right? So I just love the fact that, wow, I'm seeing the other side of the singles that we get to enjoy, because I love Bette Midler as well. What would you say, Jocelyn, is the most powerful song that you've sung?
Somebody else's guy. Definitely.
How does that go?
You're trying to get her to sing, aren't you?
Yeah. My sister and I wrote that song together, and my younger sister, and the song was about a relationship that my sister had and that I had, and we found out that the guys that we were going out with, my sister, he was married, and the other gentleman, I caught him putting an engagement ring on a woman's finger right in the restaurant.
Wow.
He didn't know I was passing by when this was happening, and I was with 4 other sisters. Lord have mercy. So you know how they were. You're not gonna go over there and say nothing. You gotta say something, you know. And I was bold enough to go over there and say something, but not in a disrespectful way. For the young lady knew nothing of me, you know. So you don't go in there and pull your whole cards out in public like that. So when he saw me, he liked to choke to death. Okay, and you know, so he introduced me to her. I asked for an introduction, and I told him, I said, well, we'll see each other. Take care. And I left it there. But of course, when I left out of the restaurant, I was devastated. I was wore out, you know. So I went home, got to the house, and started playing on this melody that I had been messing with for a while, and my little doorbell rang, and it was my younger sister. And I couldn't understand why she rang the bell, because she had a key to get in. And when I opened the door, she was just leaning on the door, and she just fell in my arms and said, sis, he's married. And I said, wow. You know, so it was a devastating situation, but it was a fantastic outcome. You know, because I look back now and I say, thank you, Jesus, because I was released. My sister and I was released from the pain, and was able to surrender to a bigger and higher power. You know, that everybody that I knew, including men, enjoy that song. You know, and can relate to it.
It's wonderful that you got to make something positive out of a negative situation.
Yeah. So you think that music has the power to heal? Then?
Please. Every time I sing that song, to this day I'm healed. To this day, to let me know that there's a way out. You don't always have to stay in that place. You can come out, you know. So yes, it has the power to heal.
Yeah. That just shows how influential music is, isn't it? I mean, many years have passed, but still, till today, it has an impact in your life. I love that. Music is very influential. Silence.
I like the way that you ended up making money off those men because of those men. It's a good money figure.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Yes.
I have to say, you are the voice of Snap. 1999 hits. The power, and you're known to have the most powerful voice as a musician.
Wow.
Yeah. How do you train your voice? What is it, just natural?
I'm a natural.
You're a natural.
Yeah, I was born and raised around gospel singers. Church is my foundation. And of course, spirituality is the other part of it as well. Where God steps into place, I would not have this voice without him. And every time I walk out on that stage, I give him the praise and the honor and ask him to step before me, you know. And that power that I feel is that surge that comes inside my body from my head to my toes, or from my toes to my head, that just takes over, and it just allows me to surrender to the higher power that's there. Because so many people, you don't know what people are going through, you know. But you are, you're a vessel, and you're out there to overflow for folks that are in need of something. You don't know what they're in need of, but if God's going to use you in that way, then let it be so. You know, that's all I ask, is that if there's anything that I can do, Lord, to touch, deliver.
Do people come to you and say, you know, that song that you've written, that really helped me through this situation? I was going through this and I heard those lyrics and it really brought me to another place.
Every time I've had men walk up to me crying, you know, saying thank you so much. But, you know, not just the words, but I think it's that when that spirit walks up on stage and with you, and it takes control, and you can't do nothing about it because it's just saturating the whole place, that's what I'm talking about, you know. And, you know, for folks that be drinking and doing drugs and all that kind of stuff before they go on stage, I don't understand that because I don't know what kind of deliverance they're trying to bring forth. But, you know, I know that when God is in the place, you know, I don't care what you're singing, he will take control.
Well, speaking, you've spoken quite a bit about your faith. I'd like to ask you, how difficult is it to stick to your principles in this industry?
Not difficult at all, because I won't let anyone come in and step in front of that. If you cannot understand and abide by how I am, I'm not a difficult person. I'm a realistic person. If you can't step in and work with me and talk with me about this so that we can make everything gel together, I can't work with you because there's something else motivating you and I don't know what that is. So I want to be in that place where there's a lot more of a spiritual understanding and a lot more spiritual vehicles that's going on, so that everyone that's involved, when we take off together and onto that higher plane, which is like, thank you, Lord, for letting me go there,
Well, I'd like to ask you a final question.
Sure.
Is there anything that you are yet to accomplish?
Yeah, there's still the control completely of my total career and what I want to do. There's still things that I'm still working at to get there. So yes, there are some things I'm still pioneering on. And I'm more than anything else, I'm trying to allow sisters to know and brethren to know that don't stop. No matter how old you are, no matter what the situation is, there's a way out and there's a way forward, especially with your dreams and aspirations. You must go forward with that.
Wow, very inspiring words, very motivating as well, definitely. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. It's been absolutely great.
My pleasure.
It really has. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're going to go to a short break now, but stay with us because we'll be discussing more on the topic of the power of music.
People normally think that there's no greater influence as powerful as Hollywood, but I beg to differ because Godlywood is really making its mark in the world. Now, for those of you that don't know, Godlywood is an initiative aiming to lead women of all ages to become exemplary women of God. We teach women how to make a positive impact in their own lives and their families through monthly tasks and meetings. And one of the great things about Godlywood as well is that we also learn to be giving, so we go out and help our communities. And one of the ways we do that in the UK through regular visits to elderly homes to pamper them and to keep them company. We also have regular events to help abused women, and we have many more plans to help our community. I ended up overcoming lots of insecurities and bad habits, and I've grown so much, and one of the things that I finally beat was the shyness that I had, and I'm doing things that I never ever imagined that I would be doing. And we have many more plans to help our community. So to summarise everything, Godlywood really changes lives, and I'm so privileged to be a part of it.
Welcome to your health centre, conveniently located right here in the heart of Finsbury Park. Open 7 days a week with 4 services daily, there's surely something for everyone. No matter what time of day, there will always be a spiritual advisor on hand, ready to speak to you. Call our 24-hour helpline, your place to open up any time of the day. No problem is too complex, so don't be dismayed. In fact, we have daily sessions that can tackle issues related to every area of your life from the inside out. If you're looking for uplifting advice, a listening ear, or maybe just a prayer to put your mind at ease, then feel free to come in. We also offer free childcare facilities during all of our meetings. We'll take care of them as if they were our very own. Or, for teens and youths, express your talents right here in our youth group, proudly one of the biggest youth groups in the UK. If you need our support, you will find it. From the training centre to support groups for single parents and the abused, free, confidential help is at hand. There's no appointment necessary, so you're welcome. And what's more, all the services we offer are all completely free. The advisors will give you practical, non-judgmental advice that will take the weight off your shoulders. Also, if you're looking for special gifts or an inspirational read, then why not visit our bookshops? We have a comprehensive range of thought-provoking literature at great prices. We work hard to provide for all of your needs from the inside out. Helping people is what drives us, so you're welcome.
My husband committed suicide when I was quite young, left me with 3 young children.
It was about 8 years of abuse, starting for psychological abuse until it got physical.
I just felt so lost as a teenager. I didn't know who I was. I kind of just felt very, very lonely.
My grandmother passed away. 8 months after, 9 months after, then my mother passed away too. I kind of buried those emotions.
I was having really sleepless nights and I was really desperate.
Depression, that was affecting me. 10 years I was on medication.
Welcome back, and on today's show we have been discussing the positive and negative drives that music has. So after seeing our child stars singing and speaking to Jocelyn Brown, would you say, ladies, do you think that music has a negative or positive influence?
I would say it can have both. Definitely can have a negative and a positive. It's really interesting to find out the background, do research on singers sometimes to find out the background on a song. Because when I know that song, I've known that song for years, and I assumed that it was completely the opposite way around. You know, now I heard the background to it, I now know that it was someone that did the dirty on Jocelyn, but it could seem like a negative song, you know, but it's a very positive song, and that's why I asked her the question, has your songs helped people? Do they come to you and they say, you know, it's helped? So yeah.
Yeah, I think because that is a situation that unfortunately many people have been through, because even when she spoke I could identify with that, because I've actually been through that myself.
Me too, yeah.
And it's not only helped her, you know, she wrote it out of her pain, I guess. Actually, out of her pain, she wrote that song. But it's been able to help so many other people. Definitely. And now that it's true, I agree with you, because now that you know the story, it's so easy to understand the lyrics and why it's written the way it is.
Which is why music is very influential, because people put interpretations to it and then they sort of run with it. So what you're saying, Diane, is very good. Do background checks and try and understand a little bit more of what goes behind the song, right? What goes behind that song, and what is the actual artist trying to portray, and not just put your own interpretations into a piece of music that a song that you're listening to. I actually loved to have this understanding that there is actually background work that goes on, because for us we're so focused on the end product, isn't it? You just see it, you listen to it, and you don't actually think about the motivation towards that song, what goes on in the background. And when you do, that's when you realize that some of the songs are actually meant to take advantage of you. For example, I mean, songs with no content at all, I assume that, you know what, people just write it because they understand that it's going to have a catchy lyric, I'm going to make money out of it, and that's what I really want. So when you think about things objectively, it can even help you make good choices of what you support.
Yeah. Well, we're sadly coming to the end of the show, but before we go, ladies, do you have anything that you want to share, any final thoughts for our viewers?
I just wanted to say that I think music has a big impact in our lives. From when we are growing up, as a child, we learn through music, like you explained. We learn the ABC. You learn, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and all these nursery rhymes. And then growing old in your teenage years, you have always this song that you relate to, and you are looking forward to, to see someone that you can admire and you can project yourself on. And that's when we need to be very careful, because we've been talking about the negative and the positive side. Yes, music can have a positive side, it can motivate you, but it can also put you down. We spoke about depression. People might feel sad and depressed when they are listening to a certain kind of songs. So always be very selective. I'm not a very musical person. I like music, but I'm not very into music. But every time I hear a song, I tend to go and search the lyrics. I go on YouTube and I say, this song with lyrics. And then I can sing along and know exactly what is being said. And if I see something that it doesn't really agree with what I believe and what I stand for, it's okay, no, I cross it out of my list.
I think singing can bring people together as well. It can bring you closer in a family, the choirs, just getting round, having a little sing-song can make you feel a little bit happy. If you had a sad day, the example that Jocelyn gave, her and her sister that day, had both had disastrous things happen to them, and they went and made a song. They must have felt quite self-healed when they made that song.
Yeah.
So I think it can, we can all have a sing-song afterwards and we can see how we feel.
And I think also music is, it could be an outlet of emotions, right? Sometimes you have emotions that are negative that really need to come out. That you really need to come out. But then, many times what we do, we tend to unleash those emotions on people. You want to vent to a friend. You want to always, pour it out to people, but you can actually use music as an outlet of those emotions. I've done that before, where I was in a situation and I really felt like I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna vent, I'm gonna tell the person off, I'm gonna tell what I think, and then I just put on some music and let it all out through music. So it can be positive, but then for that to happen, you need to have music with good lyrics. It means you need to choose selectively what you listen to and what you allow to influence you. But yeah, you can use music to be an outlet for your emotions.
Socrates once said that once the soul hears music, it drops its best guard. Now that for me is one of the best descriptions of the power of music. As we've learned in today's show and as we've discussed, music can be an extremely powerful tool, but it should be a tool that is used in the best way for you. No one has the power to overcome or influence your decisions, whether that is music, money, or anything else. And if something does have that power, it's because you have given it that power. But really the true power of decision is within you. So when you are listening to music, make your choices wisely. If you are feeling down, then choose something to lift you up. If you're in a good mood and you want to choose something to complement that mood, then do that. But remember that ultimately the decisions are all yours. So be different in your thinking and think wisely, even when it comes to things like music, because the power and the influence is definitely there, as we've learned today. This has been a great show. We thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any comments or any questions about this topic, please do get in touch with us through our Facebook page, A Different Kind of Woman, or through comments at dkw.me. Thank you very much and see you next time.